Hello. I was going to go ahead and try and explain a few things that you need to be getting caught up on if you are running behind in class. And again, like I mentioned in the email that I sent you, I'm not taking off any late points because I posted all of the assignments all at one time, just because of some things that we've been dealing with in our family, and then also being out of the classroom for a couple of days. So I'm not worried about when you get them done. Let's just try and work just a little at a time. And then we will just get them done. So, okay, first thing, I'm gonna go just to the very bottom of the classwork section on 5th period science. And the first thing I see is E.1.1 vocab Quizlet review. On Wednesday, you will take the vocab quiz for E.1.1. So these are the words, and I think this is gonna be backwards for you, but it's Earth system, geosphere, hydrosphere, cryosphere, atmosphere, biosphere, energy budget, and all of those words come from page 5. So you'll take that vocab quiz on Wednesday, and so there's a Quizlet review there for it. I also posted, the next thing up was Thursday science assignment, and I know a couple of you have already sent me this, but pages 6 through 11, make sure that you have those done, and you send me pictures of those by email. You can also record yourself just showing me the pages. You don't even have to take pictures of the pages. You could just do a quick video and just flip to page. I don't have any of these done. This is my blank book, but just flip to pages 6 through 11, and you'll just show me on the video that you have them done, and I can grade that way. All right, going up from there, ISN 1 is the success chart, and I believe that everybody already has this done. Remember that it's 4 different qualities of successful and unsuccessful students and teachers. ISN 2 is a bell ringer. And so all of the bell ringers are written down on ISN 2 on the directions on Google Classroom. Make sure that you actually answer what it's asking, not just copy it down. ISN 3 is an all about me page, and I believe everybody's gotten that done. Truthfully, you don't really even have to do this. If you haven't done it yet, it's not a big deal. Just put it in here. It was just something we did in class. ISN 4, like we talked about, is your vocab from E.1.1. So anytime we do vocab, I'll always send you this sheet, and you cut off, so the way that it comes, you cut off the top of it and you fill it out. So we're in module E right now, which is the book that we're in. And then the rest of it tells you what unit and what lesson we're in. So point 1.1 is unit 1, lesson 1, and then all of those vocab words on page 5. So you fill it out that way. And then I just bopped myself in the nose. And then you glue it on here. Remember that you will put the word, and then you'll put the definition actually on the notebook, and then you'll put a picture that goes along with it on the flap on the back side of it. And then you'll glue it, just the middle part gets glued down, and then just on the middle part you glue the title strip down with it. Okay, so that's ISN 4. ISN 5 is a magazine ad describing the importance of the atmosphere, and you're going to add color. So it actually comes from, the directions are on page 10, number 12. And so on page 10, number 12, down here at the bottom, it tells you what to do, and the directions say, design a magazine ad for the atmosphere to show what it does for the earth. And so you're going to want to add color to it. So I didn't draw one, but yours will take up your entire page, and you can just advertise like the atmosphere, the newest, greatest sphere on earth. It protects us from, and you explain what it protects us from and what it does for us. And you'll find all of that information on page 10. Okay, the next thing is ISN 6 is a bell ringer. And so these are kind of all out of order on Google Classroom. I don't know why it added them in different orders, but it did. So ISN 6 is bell ringer, and it tells you all of the 5 different things. One of them on Wednesday says look at Prime's terrarium. So for those of you who are remote learning, you're going to have to think about the fact that he's a reptile, and you're going to think about which sphere would not be good for him to have. So he has to drink, he has to have something to live on and have a shelter on, he has to be able to breathe, he has to be able to eat. So there's one of those things that if he had that sphere in his terrarium, in his environment, then he would not do well because he's a reptile. So think about that, and then you'll put the correct answer. ISN 7, I haven't done my vocab on here, but it would go on ISN 7, and so I've labeled it 7, and I'll put a little note to myself to do the vocab. So remember that it's gonna look like this. It's just gonna have the words from page 19 in your textbook, and there are 6 words, and they're right here in the green box. And so we always do the Engage Your Brain page, but we do this section a little differently. We always do it on our butterfly sheets in our ISNs. So the words are weathering, physical weathering, abrasion, chemical weathering, oxidation, and acid precipitation. Okay, so then you will, I believe that was 7. So then ISN 8 is the furthest that we've gone in our ISN. Oh, I need to label that with an 8 at the bottom. Oh, there's my pen. So ISN 8 is a rock biography, and the directions for the rock biography are actually on page 23, and it's number 10. So I will read, let me write that down on my little notes here. Page 23, number 10. The directions say, imagine you are a rock. And so it's on this page, page 23, and it's down here, number 10. Write a short biography of your life as a rock, describing the changes you have gone through over time. And so one of the things that you're going to be able to look at is this section here that says wind, water, and gravity. And so it's talking about abrasion in this section. So you're going to read about that, and then you're going to write a little biography. So it says, rock can be broken down to the action of other rocks over time. Abrasion is the breaking down and wearing away of rock material by the mechanical action of other rock. So you're going to be talking... really, it's kind of an autobiography because you're the rock and you're writing a story about your life. So that's what you do on ISN 8. So then, my husband is making fun of me. Then you are going to make sure that you look at the ISN table of contents all the way up to 8 and make sure that your table of contents is updated. So I'm not updated. Let's do rock biography on number 8. And then table of contents is updated. So make sure that you get that done. And finally, you need to have pages. So there's 2 different lessons that we're working on here. You need to have pages 5 through 15 done. So that's the lesson. 5 through 15 is the actual lesson. This is all from lesson 1. Then pages 16 and 17 are the only ones I actually take for a grade. So you're going to do 5 through 15. Send them to me if you have questions, if you need extra help on those. But that's really just for your work at home to help you. Because whenever you use your book, you're going to complete pages 16 and 17. And send me pictures or videos of this so that I can look at your work. Because this is where you're going to be graded, is pages 16 and 17. Then on Wednesday, you'll take your lesson quiz after you take your vocab quiz. So your lesson quiz has to do with all of the spheres that we've been studying. Then on lesson 2, you are going to be working through pages. So this is the next lesson. So don't go on to lesson 2 until you're completely done with lesson 1 and you have gotten your grade back for pages 16 and 17 and I've told you that you're good. And then you'll take your lesson quiz on Wednesday. On Wednesday, you will also take a vocab quiz. So you're taking 2 vocab quizzes and 1 lesson quiz. So you're taking a vocab quiz on lesson 1, you're taking a lesson quiz on lesson 1, and then you're taking a vocab quiz on lesson 2. So it's those 6 words. Make sure you get page 19 done. And then you're going to go ahead and work through pages 20 to 25. So 20 starts here with break it down, and it's talking about weathering. And it goes all the way over physical weathering. It talks about chemical weathering. And it ends with chemical weathering, different reactions with living things. The acids that are in living things. So like, for example, whenever something dies and all of its body fluids, like for example, like if a deer is killed by a bear and the bear doesn't eat all of the whole entire carcass of the deer, and there's still a little bit of meat left. That rotting meat it loses a lot of its body fluids, and a lot of its acids begin to seep down into the ground, and it can cause, if there was a rock there, it could cause chemical weathering, because of the acids coming out of that living thing could cause chemical weathering against the rock, and it could cause it to break apart. So that's the last thing that you're going to study on page 25. I haven't assigned this yet, but next week, what we're actually doing in class is we're going to be doing pages 26 and 27 as the review, and then we're going to take a lesson quiz on lesson 2. But I don't want you to worry about that yet. That's what's coming up, but you have some things to catch up on. So again, like I said, reach out to me if you need me. Reach out to Mrs. Frank if you're in the resource room. If you're not in the resource room and you would like to reach out to Mrs. Frank, she is more than happy to help you through a Google Meet. We'll just talk to her and see if we can get that set up. If you would rather do a Google Meet with me, you can do that, and we can talk through some things. But just let me know what you need. Thank you. Bye.